This coin was struck in 2003, a year in which the Royal Mint produced vast quantities of 2-pence coins, coins intended for everyday use for pockets, purses, shopping baskets, fairs, small acts of commerce. The design shows Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, a portrait reflecting her dignified presence, her role as monarch for decades, the continuity of the British monarchy. On the reverse side is the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath them the German phrase, Ich diene, meaning I serve. That badge carries centuries of tradition, echoes of royalty's duties, echoes of service, of symbolic authority. The materials are simple, copper-plated steel or copper-plated bronze, depending on precise issues, metals that conduct, that shift color, that age. Possibly the coin weighs just a few grams, its diameter modest. The edges smooth, the inscription crisp, the lettering clear. Originally intended for the anonymous anonymity of everyday transaction, for payment of small items, newspaper, loaf of bread, bus fare, tab in a pub, this coin was never meant to be remarkable. Yet among the millions minted, among the ones scattered across cities, stamped into circulation, collected in jars, lost under sofas, one piece among them carries a difference. Perhaps its finish is unusually sharp. Perhaps strikes were especially clean. Perhaps the minting alignment, the dye, the pressure, the metal flow, all were optimal. Perhaps it escaped circulation early, preserved against wear. No scratches, no bends, no discoloration, no tiny dents. Perhaps its edges are perfect, its details crisp. The lines in Queen Elizabeth II's hair, the features of her portrait, the feathers and coronet and the words, Ich diene sharply defined. The surfaces reflecting more brightness than usual. The copper plating still vibrant, untuned by time. Collectors and numismatists study such coins. They examine luster, surface, color, strike, centering, edge, any mint mark peculiarities, anomalies. They look for off-center strikes, double dies, misstrikes. They compare thousands upon thousands of similar coins, looking for any variation in weight, thickness, planchet flaw, rim difference. They inspect under magnification the portrait, the relief, the fields, the flat parts, the devices, the raised parts. They measure the edges. Are they sharp or worn? They test color. Is the copper plate even? Is there any verdigris? Is the tone warm or cool? They check patina. Has oxidation blemished the surface or has it maintained an attractive glow? This specific 2-pence coin from 2003 came to notice because it is in nearly mint condition. Uncirculated, perfect strike, beautifully preserved. It may have been held in a collection soon after being struck, perhaps housed in a collection or set by someone who understood its potential, or perhaps it was stored in a coin album, or even forgotten in a secure place that preserved it from wear. Over time, its rarity in that condition has grown more and more obvious. Among millions, very few survive without any imperfection. But condition alone does not always equate to astronomical value. Rarity plays its role. Demand plays its role. The historical context, the market of collectors, the rarity relative to other issues, and sometimes anomalies. Perhaps this coin has some die variation or striking error, maybe a misalignment or some over a striking or some difference in the metal composition, or perhaps it has a sharply detailed portrait because the die was especially new. Perhaps it exists as part of a small batch struck on special planchets, or it was part of a proof set or special uncirculated mint set, though still treated as a circulation strike but preserved in uncirculated condition. Consider that some coins from 2003 might have small die polish lines, or slightly weak in parts of the design, or slight misalignment, or they may have minor marks because of handling or environment. The coin that commanded attention lacks all of these. It shows the full detail of the feathers, crisp coronet, clean letters ich, space, dn, the queen's cheek, hair, ear, neck, crown, all reflecting sharp relief against the fields. The coloration is warm, consistent. The surface free from significant blemish, no signs of circulation, no contact marks, no evidence of heavy handling. Its edges are intact, no rounding, no wear. Everything about it reads, mint state, proof-like, gem uncirculated. Over years, word spread among numismatic communities. Images circulated. High-resolution photographs showing the coin from different angles. Lighting that reveals the relief, the shadows, the fields, the glow of the metal. Experts authenticated it. The grading was high, perhaps assigned a grade very near the top of the scale, possibly MS65 or higher in grading systems where MS stands for mint state. Perhaps even GEM MS67 or more depending on the standard. The higher the grade, the more exclusive the number of coins that exist in that grade. So even among uncirculated 2003 2-pence coins, very few are as perfect as this specimen. Collectors bid at auctions. Prestigious auction houses list such coins. People with deep interest and means, living in various countries, hunt them. The coin enters catalogs, becomes a key date for some collections, becomes a trophy for someone who wants the very best example rather than a common one. As demand among collectors who prize perfection increases, value begins